Everyone, and welcome back. This week's deep dive is, well, it's huge.
Mm-hmm.
It's AI, but
Mm-hmm.
not the AI that's like, oh, years down the
All
right.
right.
This is stuff that's happening right now
Absolutely.
that could change, well, everything. How we live, how we learn.
Yeah, how we interact with the world even.
Exactly.
It's a really exciting time to be following this stuff.
It really is.
Because we're seeing that shift from AI being this thing that's like,
Separate from us.
yeah, separate, robotic, all that, to something that's becoming more like, I don't know, a partner.
I like that. AI is a partner. And speaking of partners, Google Lens wants to be the one you take everywhere. You know how it already lets you point your phone at things and get info?
Right.
Get ready for real-time video analysis.
It's a game changer. They're using their new Gemini AI, which is essentially like a super-powered visual search engine. We're talking about AI that can dissect video frames,
Wow.
identify what it's seeing, understand what's going on, and give you answers like that.
So no more, like, frantically Googling while that bird you've never seen before flies away.
Nope. Imagine you're at a concert,
Okay.
and you can instantly ID every single band member just by pointing your phone at the stage. Or you're exploring a new city,
Right.
and instead of squinting at those tiny museum plaques, you just point your phone and get the full historical rundown right there.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, that is seriously cool. But you know what else is cool?
What's that?
Having an AI assistant that's so integrated. It's less like you're barking commands and more like you've got this super helpful sidekick, you know?
I do, yeah.
Enter Microsoft's Copilot.
Microsoft is all in on Copilot.
Yeah.
They want to make it the go-to AI for everything, basically.
Everything.
Pretty much. They're rolling out new features all the time.
And these aren't just like small updates either. We're talking Copilot voice, so you can have a conversation with your AI, you know, like a normal person. You can even interrupt it.
Which, let's be honest.
Let's be honest, we've all wanted to do at some point.
Exactly.
Then there's Copilot Daily, which is basically like having a personal news anchor who wakes you up with the rundown from, you know, all those sources you'd actually trust.
Right, like Reuters and the Financial Times, that level.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the one that really caught my eye, Copilot Vision.
Now, that one's really interesting because it allows the AI to actually see what's happening on your screen.
Okay, so I have to admit, when I first heard that, I definitely pictured Copilot judging my questionable desktop organization skills.
Of course, who wouldn't?
But seriously, how does that even work?
It uses computer vision.
Ugh.
Like, it analyzes the visual elements on your screen.
Oh, okay.
The same way Google Lens is doing with the real world.
Gotcha.
So, say you're looking at a website, and the text is super tiny.
Yeah, happens all the time.
Right. You could just tell Copilot, make it bigger, and it would just do it.
Okay, now we're talking. That is a level of AI integration I can get behind. But Microsoft isn't the only one out there pushing boundaries. Let's talk about something truly mind-bending. Neuralink's Blind Sight project.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
This is some next-level stuff.
It really is.
We're talking about using brain implants to restore sight.
It seems impossible, but...
Yeah. And not just restore sight, but potentially even allow people to see things like infrared and ultraviolet light.
It's like giving people superhuman senses, really.
Right. It's wild. But how, seriously, how on earth is that even possible?
Well, they're using this tiny device called a microelectrode array. It gets implanted into the visual cortex of the brain.
Okay.
And that array connects to a camera, which captures the visual information and sends it directly to the brain. So it basically bypasses the eyes entirely.
So it's like giving the brain a new way to see, even if the eyes themselves aren't working.
That's the idea.
That's incredible. But the brain is so complex. I mean, can they really replicate the intricacies of vision with just a device?
It's a huge challenge for sure.
Right.
And Neuralink, I mean, there's still early stages, you know. It's like you can't, you know, the brain isn't like a computer where you can just plug in a new component and boom, it works, right?
Right, it's way more complicated than that.
Way more. You're talking about taking visual data from a camera and translating that into something that the brain can actually use to create a visual experience.
It's kind of amazing when you think about it.
It really is.
That we can see at all.
Exactly.
Like that just works.
It's incredible.
Yeah. But so even if it's a long road ahead for Neuralink,
Sure.
the fact that they're making progress at all,
Yeah.
it's still pretty mind-blowing. It makes you think, like, what other doors could this open up?
Oh, totally. This could go way beyond just restoring sight. Think about education,
Okay.
communication, even like entertainment. What if we could experience like whole new dimensions of reality?
Whoa. Okay, so we've got brain implants that could totally redefine how we see.
Right.
But let's maybe come back to something a little more like ready for us to use right now.
Okay, yeah.
We were talking about Google Lens and the whole real-time video analysis.
Yeah.
How close are we to actually having that on our phone?
It's in beta right now
Okay.
through Google's Search Labs program.
So no AI-powered museum tours just yet then?
Not quite yet, but I mean, it shows they're serious about it.
Yeah.
And Google, they get things done. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's everywhere pretty soon.
Okay, good to know.
Yes.
But while Google's busy, giving our phones superhuman vision,
Right.
Meta, they've got their sights set on something a little different, blending that information directly into our reality with their Ray-Ban Meta AR glasses.
See, I think what's interesting there is they're
Yeah.
going for this more immersive experience.
Oh,
Think about it. You're walking down the street
yeah.
and you've got historical facts popping up, restaurant reviews, maybe even directions.
No more pretending to know where you're going when you're lost.
Exactly. Information just appears when and where you need it.
I can see the appeal, for sure. Although, I don't know, part of me does kind of like the adventure of getting a little lost sometimes.
Well, I'm sure there's an off button.
True, true. So we've got Google going the phone route, Meta's got the glasses.
Mm-hmm.
But, we did touch on OpenAI's focus on, fusing audio and visual together.
Yeah, that was cool.
Why is that such a big deal?
Well, think about how we process information as people, right?
Right.
We're not just seeing,
Yeah.
we're hearing at the same time.
It all blends together.
That's how we make sense of things. So OpenAI, they want to create AI that can do that too.
So instead of, just recognizing that there's a dog, it could understand that the dog's barking because it wants to play fetch.
Yeah, exactly. And that level of understanding could change everything.
Wow.
From how we talk to virtual assistants to how AI makes decisions in really complex situations.
So it sounds like we're getting away from AI that feels robotic and clunky and closer to, I don't know, AI that actually gets the nuances of how the world works.
Yeah, definitely. That's the trend, really.
Yeah.
Whether it's Google, Meta, OpenAI, they're all trying to make AI more intuitive, more natural, basically more human.
So that is something I think we can all get behind.
Right.
Now, are there any other folks working on AI that can keep up with us in this fast-paced world that we should be keeping an eye on?
Oh, there are always others. You know how it is. Someone's always working on something new.
Always, always.
But Microsoft, even after those hiccups with Copilot and privacy and all that,
Right.
they're still, I think, really committed to being the AI assistant,
Yeah, it's like everyone's trying to figure out who we're going to want in our pocket or, helping us out in the future.
Exactly.
But you know what I think is even wilder than AI understanding us and the world around us?
What's that?
The idea of AI interacting directly with our brains. That brings us back to Neuralink, right? Blind sight? Are we talking real, actual possibility, or is this still sci-fi?
Neuralink, I mean, they've definitely gotten attention, right? Especially with the brain-computer interfaces, helping people who are paralyzed control devices with their minds. That's
Yeah, it's incredible.
huge. But the visual system, that's a whole other...
It's not just plugging in a new monitor.
No, it's so complex. Taking data from a camera and turning it into something our brain can actually use to create a picture.
Right.
It's a huge, huge challenge.
So no bionic eyes anytime soon then.
I mean, not yet. But the fact that they're even trying, that
No.
tells you just how far this tech has come.
It's true. It's even if it's not right now, the fact that it's even conceivable
Exactly.
is pretty amazing. Okay, speaking of pushing boundaries, let's go back to OpenAI for a sec. Besides their work on, making AI that can understand the world like we do,
Right.
they've also got that Canvas workspace. That's part of ChatGPT now, right?
It is.
What do you think about that?
I think it's a really interesting development because it's like a shift in how we think about AI, It's less about AI replacing us and more about it being a collaborator.
Okay, like
You're working on something and you've got this partner who's right there with you, helping you brainstorm, polish your work, even translate languages on the fly. And
it's like a superpowered writing partner, basically.
exactly. And because it's built into ChatGPT, it's easy to use. You don't have to be a tech expert to use it.
Right, right. I do have to wonder, though, with all of these amazing AI tools popping up left and right, I mean, are we going to become too reliant on them? Are we going to forget how to think for ourselves?
That's the big question, isn't it? And it's one we have to keep asking as AI gets more powerful and more integrated into our lives. Finding that balance,
Yeah.
using AI to enhance our own abilities,
Right.
but not letting it do our thinking for us.
It is a brave new world out there.
Yeah.
But I think that's why we do this show, to explore, to ask the tough questions.
Exactly. And to remember that the future of tech, it's not something that just happens to us.
Right.
It's up to us to shape it.
Absolutely. So to everyone listening, stay curious, stay engaged, and until next time, keep exploring.